It's now 6 o'clock right here on Big Breakfast. Today FM, today's hit music.
Hey, I'm Pauline.
And I'm Alan. Tune in to the Breakfast Show on Today FM with Pauline and I every weekday morning
from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m.
right here on Today FM, today's hit music.
Today FM, today's hit music.
This is FBC News. I'm Amrita Darshni. In this bulletin, Ratu Nainga Malalam suspended from Parliament for 2 years. Opposition boycotts Parliament session today. And government challenges Mikaeli Liawera's appointment to Parliament. Opposition MP Ratu Nainga Malalam has been suspended from the House of Representatives for 2 years. Late last night, Parliament passed a motion to suspend Ratu Naingama based on the recommendation of the Privileges Committee.
Ratu Naingama Lalam isn't allowed to enter Parliament precincts, including the opposition office, until the suspension expires.
I think the fact is that we've set a very high standard, we've sent a message, and it's a deterrence that nobody should in any way undermine the position of the Speaker, the Speaker is the embodiment of Parliament.
Outside Parliament last night, Sodelpa members were tight-lipped.
The House has just voted. They've voted to suspend you for 2 years. What are your reactions to this, sir? So you said in the House that you apologized personally to the Speaker. Would you like to issue a public apology now? So are there any steps that you might be considering now? Any form of redress? So do you have anything to say to the people of Fiji? Madam, may I have your reaction to what just happened? Mr. Karavaki, do you have anything to say?
This is a sad day for Parliament and for one of our colleagues.
These kind of decisions aren't necessarily easy, but we have to be mindful of the fact that we need to build a strong institution. As was said by most of the members from the government side who spoke about it, we reflected on the fact about these comments being made. And it's very critical for all of us to know that when you're a member of Parliament, you are a member of Parliament and you must conduct yourself in that manner.
The Tui the Cow did earlier speak as the House debated the motion, saying he'd privately apologized to Dr. Chico Luveni.
I was asked by the Honourable Leader of the Opposition to visit your good office, Madam, and see what I had to say, and especially to apologize to your good self.
During a brief adjournment in debate, there was some last-minute lobbying. Opposition leader Rote Mumukepa asked for a personal audience with Syed Qayyum in the government chambers. It only lasted a few minutes.
It's now after 9 o'clock in the evening and Parliament has adjourned for the day. Across the road you might be able to hear celebrations and fireworks going off in commemorating the Fiji Sevens team. But it's anything but celebrations for Sodelpa and its now suspended MP, Ratu Nainga Malalam.
27 MPs voted for the motion, 18 voted against and 4 MPs did not vote. One seat remains vacant following the resignation of Pioti Konduandua from public office. The entire opposition walked out of Parliament last night before the Speaker adjourned the sitting. Edwin Nunn, FBC News.
Suspended opposition MP Ratu Nainga Malalam retains his seat in Parliament despite his 2-year suspension. Section 63 of the Constitution sets out the conditions under which a seat becomes vacant in Parliament. These include death, resignation from Parliament and the political party, is absent from 2 consecutive Parliament sittings without permission from the Speaker, and expulsion. Parliament Secretary General Viniana Namosi Malua clarified that a suspension does not necessarily mean is a vacation of seat. However, Namosi Malua confirms Ratu Naingama will not be paid during the 2 years. Section 16 of the Parliamentary Remunerations Decree provides that if a member is suspended from Parliament, the member will not be paid any salary or benefit for the period of suspension. It was a debate that is possibly the longest that Parliament has had since its formation lasting between 4 to 5 hours yesterday afternoon. The House heard both opposition and government MPs debate on the motion and eventually pass a vote that sent opposition member Ratu Naingama Lalambalavu home for 2 years. Alan Stoltz reports.
Both sides of the House presented their views on the situation before bringing the motion to a vote.
Towards the end of the evening, he was able to recover the situation, as a paramount chief does in any traditional setting, extolling the people. Okay, we've heard what you said. We are work in progress. Let us support the Speaker and let us support the Prime Minister. That is what is missing from the transcript.
It was said around the grog bowl by a senior member of Parliament and should therefore be okay. It is politically okay to say such things. Really, Madam Speaker?
There were even claims that the slur was hearsay.
I'm sure many of them have not also heard the recording. So what the actual words were, what the context was, who said what to who, a lot of it is hearsay, Madam Speaker.
It makes me hang my head in shame that those two things were said about you. But in fact, it makes me sink deeper in shame when I see the members of the opposition trying to shamelessly protect that statement.
As the heated debate came to a close, the leader of government reiterated the sentiments about justice.
But I'm speaking as an Itoke, I'm speaking from the bottom of my heart that justice also needs to be done.
An amendment motion which was moved by opposition member Tupo Nraunindalo, which called for Ratu Naingama to apologize and retract his statement without a sanction, was defeated with 18 ayes and 25 noes, while 4 did not vote and 2 abstained. Parliament went on to vote on the original motion moved by acting Prime Minister Ayasaid Kayum to suspend the opposition member Ratu Naingama Lalambalavu, and the decision was in the affirmative with 27 ayes, 18 noes and 4 did not vote. The 4 are Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama, Health Minister Chone Usamate, Education Minister Dr. Mahendra Reddy and Minister for Fisheries Osea Naingamu, who are all overseas on official duties. Ellen Stalls, FBC News.
Opposition members of Parliament boycotted today's sitting. None of the MPs turned up when proceedings started at about 10 o'clock. Eleanor Turangaivu has more.
Minutes before Parliament proceedings were due to start, Opposition Whip Ratu Isotikotha, Deputy Whip Prem Singh and MP Moses Mboletabu approached the Speaker's office to inform her of their absence from the day's sitting. This was relayed to government MPs by the Speaker, Dr. Chico Luveni.
Thank you. The members of the opposition had informed me of the decisions they've made to boycott this sitting.
FBC News repeatedly tried to get comments from various opposition MPs about why they were not in Parliament. They were all in the opposition chamber during the parliamentary proceeding.
We informed the Speaker that we will not be in Parliament today, and obviously this was done to assess the consequences of the decision that the Parliament took yesterday on Ratu Lalambalavu.
Acting Prime Minister Ayasaid Kayum says the boycott is shameful.
Which is really a pity. We thought that today's proceedings would proceed as normal, but they are not there. So the work of Parliament continues as it is. But you must remember that Friday is reserved really for the opposition. And so this is a day when, apart from the normal question time, they bring about adjournment motions, they bring out other motions. So they've obviously foregone that opportunity, and it's really quite a shame.
This afternoon, opposition leader Rotemu Mukepa said in a statement that the joint opposition caucus had unanimously agreed to protest the excessive punishment against Ratu Naingama Lalambalavu by not taking their seats in Parliament today. She says the severity of the punishment, as well as some fundamental lapses in fairness and justice, warranted such a response.
As a result of the boycott today, matters listed for questions and motions under opposition MPs were not addressed in Parliament. However, Speaker Dr. Chico Luveni has approved that the matters be relisted for the next sitting on July 6. Eleanor Turangaivu, FBC News.
Coming up, 10 families benefit from government's emergency assistance program.
Gold FM, only the classic hits. Beautiful song from the group Firehouse and When I Look Into Your Eyes. Before that, you heard from Smokey Robinson with One Heartbeat. We'll take a short break and join us in the next hour for more music from Seal. Boulevard. I'm DJ Tora. Join me every weekdays, 7 until midnight on the Premium Classics. Right here on Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Welcome back. A day after the decision, as emotions have settled, the National Federation Party has spoken about the incidents of last night. Chanel Sivan spoke to the NFP leader Biman Prasad and reports the party is saddened by the penalty, saying the suspension is harsh.
Professor Biman Prasad says the punishment is severe and they are saddened by the fact that a senior opposition member had to be penalized.
Our view is that the penalty or the sanctions meted out to Honorable Lalam Balabu is extremely harsh, and in fact we believe that it's not proportionate to what might have been construed as unacceptable.
However, Prasad says the NFP celebrates women's success in this nation, saying the real issue was not about gender equality, but about an issue relating to a member of parliament.
That member of parliament should have been given all the due process to establish beyond reasonable doubt whether what he was accused of, that whether he was guilty of what he was accused of.
3 NFP parliamentarians joined the Social Democratic Liberal Party parliamentarians in a boycott of parliamentary proceedings today. SUDELPA leader Rotemu Mukepa in a statement this afternoon says a joint caucus is currently reviewing matters and will meet next week and will decide the next course of action. Chanel Shivan, FBC News.
The Attorney General's office has filed an election petition against the Electoral Commission challenging the appointment of SUDELPA MP Mikaele Leawere in the High Court's Court of Disputed Returns. The matter was on first call in the last hour at the Suva High Court. FBC News approached Mr. Leawere for a comment. However, he refused to comment on the matter. Renowned constitutional lawyer John Apted is representing MP Leawere and Divinesh Sharma is representing the Attorney General's office. The Electoral Commission has yet to finalize a lawyer. The case has been listed for hearing for next week on Thursday, the 28th of May. The local government ministry has assisted 10 families through its emergency assistance program this year. Minister Praveen Kumar informed Parliament today that families who lost their homes in fires receive financial assistance. Shireen Lata reports.
These are some of the families who have received financial help from the local government ministry. Local Government Minister Praveen Kumar says the ministry continues to assist eligible families who lost their homes in fires this year.
This assistance is for all the Fijians in this country, whether they live in village, rural areas, peri-urban or in urban centers. Where they can find the form, in rural areas and villages and koros, the Tuani Koro can assist them through the Provincial Council.
Kumar says a total of $5,000 is given as grant to the families. House fire victims are assisted within 7 days after they have submitted their application to the ministry.
Those whose home has been destroyed in an accidental fire, whose annual household income is below 50,000, who has a proper land document and whose house is not insured.
The government allocated $1 million in the 2015 budget to assist families whose houses were destroyed in fires. Shireen Lata, FBC News.
8 suspects are being questioned in relation to the attack on the police commissioner, Major General Ben Hulewald, last night. The attack took place during an attempted robbery at Distill in Flagstaff, Suva last night, where Hulewald was having dinner with other guests. Savara Tambua has the story.
Police Chief of Intelligence and Investigation, ACP Henry Brown, says the suspects were arrested today.
Brown is advising the public to report to the CID headquarters or any police station if they know of any information surrounding last night's incident or any other robbery in the division.
And we are also working on the number of similar robbery cases in the Central and Southern Division.
Uniworld was attacked with a wine bottle when he confronted the armed and masked assailants and asked them to leave. The assailants stole 2 of the guests' handbags and fled in a taxi. In a statement, the management and staff of Distill say whilst they are traumatized by the incident, they are extremely grateful to the commissioner who returned to the premises after receiving treatment for his wound to check if they were okay. Distill is located on one of Suva's busiest streets, Rewa Street. Sabay Ratambua, FBC News.
And we turn to sports now. Here's Jamie.
Thanks, Amrita. Good evening. Coming up, we take a look at the Fiji 7 celebrations in the capital last night and Nandi Rugby Union ready to rumble at the start of the Skipper Cup competition. This and more after the break.
देश की धड़कन रेडियो फीजी 2 का ये प्रसारण आपके लिए कार्यक्रम में आपका स्वागत हम कर रहे हैं। याद रात अभी से लेकर रात 12 तक यह सिलसिला खबर और आपका चलता रहेगा। दृष्टिकोण में आपका हम स्वागत कर रहे हैं। दृष्टिकोण के तुरंत बाद आगे बढ़ते हैं कार्यक्रम में। इधर कहते हैं कि गहरी थी रात लेकिन हम सोए नहीं, गहरी थी रात लेकिन हम सोए नहीं, दर्द बहुत था दिल में पर हम रोए नहीं, कोई नहीं हमारा जो पूछे हमसे जाग रहे हो किसके लिए या किसी के लिए सोए नहीं। याद रहा दें गीत संगीत का तकाजा आपके लिए रात 12 तक आपको हम सोने नहीं देंगे। महकती रातें हर सोमवार से लेकर शुक्रवार तक रात 7 से लेकर 12 के बीच रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन पर रविंद्र सिंह के साथ।
The Vodafone Fiji Sevens team were given a hero's welcome as they entered the capital city with the World Sevens Series trophy last night. Although the team arrived 3 hours later than scheduled, thousands of fans gathered on the streets to get a glimpse of the Sevens gladiators. Rohit Deo has more.
A night that will not be forgotten for a very long time. If the 8-hour journey from Nandi to the capital wasn't enough, it took the team almost another 2 hours to reach Albert Park. Team captain Osea Kolinisau, who was overjoyed with the victory, thanked the fans for their support.
It's been overwhelming, the support that we've seen since we came in on Wednesday. We've been overwhelmed by the support and the amount that turned out at the airport and the amount that turned out today and the people that turned out in the villages stopping the buses. It gives us more boost to want to play more for your country and try to win more for Fiji.
It was a deserving treat that the Vodafone Fiji Sevens team had worked for in the last 8 months. The acting Prime Minister reminded the invited guests and players what Sevens rugby means to the country.
The magic about the Sevens, it unites us all, even better than 15s from one perspective. And many people who may play other sports, but when it comes to the rugby Sevens, they all get united behind the Fijian team. The Saturday will be playing one in the tournament has been a special thrill for everybody. And even now it's become a trend. Whenever you score a try, the firecrackers go up.
Fiji has waited 9 long years for this win, and with the image we have created in the Sevens world, the team knows they have the full support of its fans. Coach Ben Ryan's brigade had a great reception from the fans and will now turn their focus to the next series, and of course the one that everyone in the country desperately wants, the Rio Olympics next year. Rohit Deo, FBC Sports.
The Nandi Rugby Union will be on a quest to return to its glory days in local rugby as it gets its campaign underway in the Skipper Cup tomorrow. The Jet Setters received a $47,000 sponsorship boost last night to aid its endeavour back to the top. Josephine Navula has the details.
The partnership between major sponsors Jacks Fiji last night is a major boost for the Nandi Rugby Union ahead of the new rugby season.
We are very fortunate this evening to have such a wonderful team joining Nandi Rugby as a family of Nandi, Jacks of Fiji, Red Brick and the other co-sponsors, partners. And it definitely will boost Nandi in terms of preparation, not only for the year but for our first game against Thailand.
The team is determined for a strong outing in the coming games and a total of 10 new sponsors climbing on board to be part of the team in competing in the Skipper Cup competition.
We've been doing a lot of groundwork, and I salute my executives for working so hard to bring us to this level. And also the team management has been working so hard in putting together our teams for the coming Skipper Cup, which was launched also today. And with all these teams and partners, I think we are ready to rumble again this year.
Nandi will take on Telebu in the first round of the tournament at 3 p.m. at the Ratu Vakumbau Park in Osori tomorrow. Josephina Vula, FBC Sports.
Fireworks were expected in the opening game of the 2015 Skipper Cup season this afternoon between current champions Nandronga and last year's losing finalist Naita Siri. The Highlanders have come off a grueling pre-season, including a match against the Telecom Fiji Warriors, and will be out to exact revenge for their 50-7 loss to the Stallions in the final last year.
We saw a very exciting game last year at the end of the Skipper Cup competition, and we should expect this feature game for this first round of Skipper Cup competition to be much more explosive than what we witnessed last year.
The Nandronga Naita Siri match is currently underway at the NZ Stadium. Other teams will be in action tomorrow across 5 venues, with the Tailevu Nandi class expected to be a fiery encounter. Representatives from national Olympic committees and sporting federations in the Oceania region are undergoing an administration course in Suva, termed the Managing Olympic Sports Organization. The course is designed to expand the participants' managerial skills and apply it to their various sporting bodies.
As you know, most sports are run by volunteers. And if you're aware of the development of sport internationally, the demands now are much higher, and we can see that in our national sevens team. So the demands from international sport for athletes to excel is impacting our administrators. So there's a shift from volunteerism to a more professionalized organization.
The course is run over 7 months in 3 sessions of 2 weeks. The first stage began today at Fasanox Olympic House in Suva, with over 10 participants attending from 6 countries around the region. The Vodafone Fiji Under-20 football side is likely to play Hungary in its last warm-up match before the FIFA World Cup. The team has settled in well in Auckland, New Zealand, while discussions are underway between Fiji Football Association officials and their Hungarian counterparts to get the match organized for Monday. Meanwhile, team skipper Tsalen Reloy is honoured at the opportunity to lead the side through to Fiji's first FIFA World Cup.
Well, for me, it's first of all, I'd like to thank Almighty, for giving this opportunity and giving this role to play in this upcoming tournament. And I'm happy. The coach selected me as a captain, and captaining this team, it's not a new thing for me. It's this is my video. I'm captaining this team, and I'm so happy and I'm so proud.
Fiji plays its first match of the World Cup against Germany at 1 p.m. on June 1st. That was your sports for this evening. It's back to Amrita now with
Fiji Airways has released a new in-flight video featuring the World 7 Series champions, the Vodafone Fiji Sevens players. Fly Like a Fijian features coach Ben Ryan, his team and airline staff. From making boarding fuss-free to keeping a flight friendly, the video demonstrates the simple things that ensure a great flight. The airline says it wanted to work with the team to educate passengers on the simple things they can do.
We did it in the middle of the team's participation in the tournament. So the first part of it was shot when the team came back from Wellington on their way to Las Vegas, and they had a long layover here in Nadi. So we used that opportunity and we shot the rest of it after they had returned from Las Vegas.
Shane Hussain says the video is shot primarily for social media. Well, fine and cool conditions were experienced over most parts of the country today. A trough of low pressure lies slow moving over the southern parts of Solomon Islands and extends northeastwards over the northern parts of Tuvalu, southeast over Samoa and southern Cooks. Meanwhile, another trough of low pressure affects western Kiribati, Tokelau and the northern Cooks. On the temperatures, maximum temperatures ranged from 27 to 30 degrees today. Nandi and Lambasa notched 30 degrees. Tomorrow there should be fine weather apart from brief showers. They are expected over the eastern parts and interior of the larger islands. It should be cool at night. Now Sunday is expected to be the same, fine apart from brief showers over the eastern parts and interior of the larger islands. Once again, cool at night. Recapping our top stories. Opposition MP Ratunenga Malalam has been suspended from the House of Representatives for 2 years. On to our poll question. This week we are asking, should nightclub opening hours be reviewed? Visit our FBC website to take part. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via our Facebook page, FBC News. If you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or simply #FBC News. You've been watching FBC News. I'm Amrita Priyadarshini.